So what is good, y'all? It's your boy Easy, and I'm back with another reaction. Today we reacted to Can Schools Protect You in a Zombie Apocalypse? If I didn't know, I love The Walking Dead. I love zombie movies. So this is perfect for me. Do y'all think school is the best place to survive in? Leave in the comments below which what spot is the best spot to be at when the zombie apocalypse starts. Let's get it. Make sure to like, subscribe.
When talking about surviving a zombie apocalypse, schools are one of the top places mentioned. And in my last video, Are Prisons Good in a Zombie Apocalypse? It was definitely one of the most recommended comments in my video. Maybe people think schools are a good idea because they offer some real benefits to survival that you wouldn't get somewhere else. Maybe it's because it's shown to be possible in zombie movies and TV shows. Or maybe it's because we spent a majority of our younger years there and it's
Honestly, I think that schools is like not the best place, but it's good because it has everything that you need. Food. I mean, like they don't have walls, but the building's like sturdy, so that's good. And that's it, bro. You have medical stuff, the nurse office, and everything. So school would be a good place to survive in. Ain't gonna lie. But you have to board up the everything, board up the windows, board up everything because schools only got fences, and fences not strong enough, so people could just break in. Zombies can just break in easily through the fence. So gotta board up everything.
rooted in our subconscious to believe it's safe. So today, we're going to figure out if school is a viable option to survive the zombie apocalypse, or if it's just some wishful thinking that will likely end up getting
I
yourself
never thought
killed.
of school
This is Zombie Survival
to be my
Ops.
first choice. I never thought of that. Probably like a bunker
So schools, we went there to get an
or
education,
a
learn to
military
socialize
spot
with friends,
with
and
guns.
sleep in study halls. We spent a majority of our childhood here, letting it mold us into the person that we are now today. But if society was to crumble and an apocalyptic event were to happen, like a zombie apocalypse or something realistic like the solar grid shutting down, could a
Hopefully,
school
it ain't
be a viable option to
the
survive?
running
To answer
ones,
this
bro.
question, we need to figure out our pros as well as the cons to figure out if it's a good idea
I
or
mean,
not. And to
the
begin,
Walking
you guys can
Dead
vote in my
zombies,
Discord for sharing
that's
their
cool,
information
but
about their school so I can get a consensus on
the
what your average
crazy
high school is. Before we start looking at the pros and cons, we need to set some ground rules so that way we are all on the same
runner
page. The
zombies, bro.
schools that
Hell
I'm
no,
going to be referring
I'm
to are your
dead.
generic everyday high school. So if your high school has barbed wire fences, is out in the middle of an island somewhere, and just happens to have firearm training courses, we're not talking about your school. Just your average, everyday high school.
No high
As far as
school
zombies go, I'm
got
going to be
that, bro.
referring to The Walking Dead as a reference. So no
Yep,
squinting
The
wall
Walking
climbing
Dead, my favorite
zombies. So now
show.
that we got that out of the way, what are the pros to surviving in a school during a zombie apocalypse? One of the first things that has everybody gravitating
All right,
towards
the
surviving in a
pros.
school
The
is the
pros
fact
started
that it
off with the
offers good
pros.
shelter. It's a large space that's
And that's
occupied
why I
by
was just
hundreds of
saying.
students and dozens of faculty members. Some would even go as far as to say it's built like a prison. It's not built like a prison, but I can see why
Nah,
people
I
like to
don't think
compare
so.
it to a prison. Strong walls, fences,
Yep.
strong doors. It
I don't know
keeps you
about the
warm when it's
fences, bro.
cold out, dry when it's raining,
But
and it
strong
keeps you
walls,
protected from
yep.
the elements. Because schools are primarily occupied by children, extra measures are taken to ensure their safety in case of natural disasters like earthquakes and tornadoes. This means that schools are built to be stronger and more durable than your average building. And the only thing that's scarier than the undead knocking at your front door is a group of pissed off mourning mothers suing the school district because it wasn't able to withstand a level 3 tornado and they had to pay the ultimate sacrifice. Proof that we built schools to be tougher than your average building goes all the way back to 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis, when we built
Okay.
actual fallout shelters in schools. We
Oh,
did it,
I
and
didn't know
we
that.
as
That's
children
crazy.
take the safety of our children very seriously. I had this
Yep.
bit where I was going to say, I guess school really is tough, but can't find my glasses, so cutting that out. Another pro is food. With hundreds of students
Yep.
that feed
I
5
was
kids a week,
saying
that
food
dry
too.
stock and cooler is going to be a literal gold mine during an.
Well, it depends on like how much people is there. You know, cause like if it's like a 5 or 6 people that like cleared the whole school and that was their like place, and of course it's gonna be like a lot of food. But it's like 1,000 people living in that one school, bro. The food gonna go by fast. You already know, bro. Everything gonna go by fast. You gotta watch out for that.
Apocalyptic event. School lunches might not be the most appetizing, partly because of low
Oh
budget.
yeah, I forgot about the school lunches, bro. If y'all hate school lunch, sorry. You won't survive, sorry. You have to hunt for food, bro. Go outside by yourself and hunt for food. That's all you gotta do. Eat the school lunch. To be honest, I was a school lunch type of person, so I'll huff for my food. I don't care. Some are disgusting,
And the
and
fact that they're packed
I
full of
ain't eating
preservatives.
that.
But those preservatives means that the food is going to last you plenty of time to get that farm up and running. The average high school has
Oh
about
yeah, I
400
forgot.
students, and food is delivered weekly to schools. So if a school happened to close down because of an apocalyptic event right after a delivery, that's at best 2,000 meals,
You
assuming
can
that all
start
the meals are
planning
satisfying.
stuff
That's a lot of food
like
and a lot
food,
of
planning
time before you
food and
run out
stuff.
of that food.
Forgot
But
about that.
regardless of how much food is at a school, you still need to get a farm up and running. Thankfully, though,
Yep.
another pro is that a
Think
school
at
has a
any
ton of
place you
space.
got to get like
Almost
a
every high school has a
farm
football
up
field
and
or some
running, bro.
designated sport field. So this would be a good place to start
Like,
planting seed and growing crops. But honestly, this is more of an aesthetic choice because you realistically could just plant a farm anywhere where there's open space available. It doesn't have to be at a football field. But damn, does it look good. So you got plenty of space on the outside, but you also have a whole lot of space on the inside as well. Classrooms can be switched over to bedrooms, to shops, to
oh yep.
storage areas, and more. With schools being on average 75,000 square feet or 7,000 square meters, that's a lot of space you can use to your advantage.
Yeah, I'm talking
Schools
about
aren't just
it's a
big,
lot of
they have a
space
lot of
though.
supplies
That's a
as
good
well,
thing about it.
more than what people like to give them credit for. From mechanical equipment at the bus shop or auto class shop to medical equipment at the nurse's office or medical academy course. High schools typically have a variety of vocational courses which offer you some great supplies that you can use or you can loot. Regardless of what vocational courses your school has, that's materials right there already for you that you won't have to go out and scavenge for. This is going to give you a decent head start in the beginning stages of an apocalypse because you won't be spending so much time scavenging. Instead, you'll be spending that time building. Security is something that's important as well, and the school offers it. Most school doors, when closed, automatically lock from the outside and can only be opened from the inside or unless you have a key. And
Oh, I
this is
didn't know
obviously
that.
a good thing because you don't want people just randomly walking in. But before they're able to get to those doors,
That's
high
fire.
schools typically have fences and gates around their perimeter. So
The
not only do they have to
school
make it through
doors
the
is
doors, but they have to
actually
make it past the fences first.
hard to get
Cracking down
into.
on school security and school safety has been a concern in the community for a while now, especially with recent events. And schools deal with this by having buzzers on main entrances, cameras, and even having on-site officers. And to add to the security aspect of it, a lot of
Yeah,
schools have
the cameras
rooftop
would be good
access.
too.
So having rooftop access gives you a great vantage point to oversee the perimeter. You have fences to further guard that perimeter, and then you have doors that automatically lock from the outside to stop people from getting
Yep.
in if they pass that perimeter. So it seems like a pretty solid plan. Another benefit to surviving in a
I mean, they could
simulated
just
zombie
jump the
apocalypse, or
fence,
just
bro.
any apocalypse, is the fact that it's in a prime scavenging
Or if it's
location.
just jumping
Typically,
zombies,
most
they could
schools
just
are
jump the
smack dab in
fence.
the middle of a township and surrounded by residential properties. Or if it's not residential properties, it's on the outskirts of rural areas. This means that the surrounding area is going to have a decent sized pool for looting options. Homes, homes, gas stations, small convenience stores, restaurants, and almost all are within
Oh,
walking
yep.
distance. But this isn't exactly a
Everything's
benefit of the
close.
school itself, and is more of
Yep.
like a secondary benefit. This is just because you could pick a property right next door and this benefit would still apply. It's more of a benefit of the area itself and not the school itself. But even
Yep.
though I won't be adding it to the list of pros, it's still something to consider. Think of it as an honorary mention. School generators was also mentioned a lot in my
Here's the thing, though. Who's gonna go out there and scavenge some things, man? Not me. I had to find somebody else to do that. Don't call my name, bro. Hell no. I don't know what's out there. Now I do not want to know. And the grown ups have to go out there and get some supplies and shit.
Discord as a pro, but considering that you'd only get a week's worth of power even when running the bare minimum, it's too much of a waste of resources for such a short period to consider it a pro. Lastly, libraries is also
So for real, bro. Zombie apocalypse. You're reading, bro. Out of everything you could do. Reading, hell no. Wasn't reading when I was in school. Yeah, I'm not reading when zombie apocalypse. Hell no. I ain't even thinking about a book at all.
mentioned a lot because it could have useful educational material that could aid you in survival. While that is correct, books will fall under supplies because it's considered a school supply. But anyway,
Wait, unless it's a book like a survival book that could teach me something, and that I'm reading. But anything else, get out of my
I
face.
think that pretty much does it for pros, so if you think I missed anything, leave a comment down below. And before we get to the cons segment, make sure you leave a like on this video if you're
Oh yeah, the
enjoying it so far.
cons
And
there.
what are some of the cons that might not make this
Yep.
such a great idea?
The
Probably
bad
one of
the
the biggest
bad
cons that's going to
things
screw your plans up of surviving in a
about
school during a
schools.
zombie apocalypse is the fact that schools are considered alternative care sites during disaster situations. What this means is when a disaster strikes a community like a hurricane or tornado, schools are used to treat and shelter citizens. In
Yep.
2005, when Hurricane Katrina happened, many schools like Rutherford High School housed and treated its local citizens during and after the disaster. Now you might be thinking that's different because it's a hurricane and not a pandemic. But the truth is, both situations are actually handled pretty much the same. Once a pandemic starts happening, the Red Cross and other similar foundations will begin running alternative care sites. This is so that hospitals won't have their emergency departments overwhelmed. When this happens, child daycare centers and K-12 schools are closed, making them perfect locations for the Red Cross Foundation or other emergency medical services. The same reasons that you're wanting to use that school for survival is the same reason that they want to use that school as an alternative care site. There's food on site to feed people and plenty of space to treat and house citizens. This is going to be a huge problem for you because with that school being used as an alternative care site, that food reserve is going to run dry, essentially causing the con to cancel out the pro. The cons,
Yep.
unfortunately, don't stop there. Most people don't want a large group when surviving in an apocalypse and much rather have a smaller, tighter-knit group. And this is absolutely fine, except a school is way too large for that. Your group is going to have an average of 75,000 square feet to protect and defend. And all that space to oversee is going to create a lot of blind spots for you. While it might not be as large as the prison I talked about in my last video, 75,000 square feet is still a whole lot of space. Especially when you consider that most people don't want to be in a large group and much rather be in a small group. Some people would argue though that you don't need to secure the whole building and you only need to secure a portion of it. This however doesn't make a whole lot of sense
You could do that
because why
too.
only secure a portion of it when you can just secure the entirety of a smaller place. I mentioned earlier about the doors and fences,
Make
but
sure
honestly, those aren't going to stop very much.
you go over the
A
whole
double steel
thing,
fence
bro.
can easily be cut with bolt cutters, jumped
Don't just
over, or just drove
stay in
through.
a little
Some people
spot.
say that there's walls around their school, but we're talking about the average
Ain't no
school,
walls
even
around
with
your school.
walls around
Stop
the school,
lying.
you can still climb over them. And while you can somewhat argue those points, what you can't
Hey,
argue is
the
the
school's a
windows
jail,
of a
bro.
school. With hundreds
I
of
know
windows
school.
almost always
We
within
got
arm's
walls
reach, someone is just a
around
rock
it, bro.
away from being able to get inside of the school. As
Uh,
much as people like to say school is built like a prison, it's not. It's nothing like a prison.
and another thing, the windows of the school. Don't forget about that. One rock, while you throw at it, it was over. You could walk straight in. You got to board up the windows, everything.
But let's not also forget that schools are a hotspot. Not only are foundations like the Red Cross
Yo,
interested in
everybody gonna
using
be
at
want to
schools,
go
but
there,
it's
bro.
also not a very original idea. You're gonna have a lot of people seeking out schools in a zombie apocalypse, maybe in hopes of settling down there or just to loot.
Yep.
Either way, you're not
They
the
gonna be
first and
fighting
most
and
certainly
stuff,
you are
everything.
not going to be the last, causing more problems for you than it solves. Hotspots are
Yep.
places the common public already know about and may seek out during an apocalyptic scenario. So places like malls, stores,
Mall.
hospitals, or any other place that has an abundance of resources that the common
I don't care. Malls is too big, bro. Hospital, yeah, that'll work. I ain't going to a mall. Hell no.
public are aware of, which is exactly what
Too
a
many
school is. Now,
openings
going over all
around,
the
bro.
pros and the cons, I believe that we have enough
You don't know
information now
what's
to
in
say
there, bro.
just how good it would do in a zombie apocalypse. If I could rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a completely horrible idea, 4 being short-term survival, 7 being long-term survival, and 10 being indefinite long-term survival, I would have to say it's a
Where you
solid
put that?
3, maybe a 4. The truth of the matter
Yeah,
is, for almost every
it's
pro
around
there
there
is, there is a
somewhere.
con to cancel it out. This means that it being a good shelter is pretty much the only solid benefit that a school has to offer you in an apocalyptic scenario. And when you're talking about an apocalyptic scenario, there's better places to survive. But what
Yep.
do you guys think? Did I miss any pros or cons? Let me know in the comment section down below, as well as other places I should talk
All
about in
right.
my next video. Check out the other places I talked about, like my prison video, by clicking the link in the description or in the iCard. In the description, you can also find a link to my
All right, y'all. That'll be it, y'all. So what y'all think down below? Comment down below what y'all think is the best spot to be at. Make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you, my boy ZMZreloaded. Need to react to more of your videos. Your videos are fire. But yeah, easy out. Peace.